Hi, my name is Annie Gowan, and today I am tasked with the duty of introducing my best friend, Julia Van Hoozer. My first memory from Julia was from when we were in pre-K, and she would crawl on all fours and bark like she was a dog. Since then, Julia and I have never strayed far from each other, and I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. If you don't know her, Julia is not only the hardworking brain behind the Turkey Nation Instagram, but she's also a caring friend, incredible artist, and one of the most genuine people I know. There is no one who loves cats, cheese, or Minecraft more, and there's no one else I'd rather have spent the majority of my childhood next to. I know Julia will have great things to say, so without further ado, please put your hands together for Julia Thompson Van Hoozer.
Help works in a cycle. You give help and you get help, and I have proof. It was mid-July, hot, and I should not have been outside. I don't know why my dad and I were so confident in our outdoor skills to go on a 2-hour kayak excursion on maybe the hottest day of the year, but we did. We were kayaking off the Mississippi River in an area cut off so there was no current. About 30 minutes in, we gave up and turned around, admitting the heat had won. As soon as we turned around, I saw it first. A lone female duck with her neck tied to her chest. Her wings were bound to her side by something, and she was barely able to balance above the water. We kayaked over to see if we could somehow help. However, my dad and I were on completely different pages. He began to paddle away as I began to dock my kayak. After minutes of yelling back and forth about whether he would help me save the duck or not, he eventually realized that I was going to pick up this duck and unwrap it if he would help me or not. So we pulled our kayaks up onto the muddy shoreline near an arena. Our shoes were sinking, and the thick mud was up to our ankles. He picked up the duck, and I began to carefully unwrap the wire, which was actually fishing line, until it came to a perplexing stop. It looked as if the line was just magically coming out of the duck's side. A closer inspection proved me wrong that magic was not the culprit, but instead it was what comes with every fishing line. Why would there be a line without a hook? This was where my dad suggested we opt out. But this duck now looked me in the eyes, with either desperation or judgment that I would ever consider leaving her. I decided that maybe this duck would do the same for me if roles were reversed. So I pulled the hook, and with it, I fell. Almost immediately after the hook came out, the duck fluttered her wings and swam away, or so I'm told by my dad because I was passed out in the aftermath. As soon as the wound in the duck's side, left from the fishing hook, began to bleed onto my hand, a wave of black dots overtook my vision, and the heat intensified by what felt like 1,000. I felt like I was trapped inside a malfunctioning television by the way I was seeing splotchy pixels everywhere. Before I knew it, I was flailing on the Mississippi riverbank, covered in mud, swearing to my dad this would be the place where I would die. The only thing I was thinking was I had sacrificed my life for a duck, and I could only hope she would remember me. I could have sworn I was halfway gone when my vision cleared, and from the clouds of my mind, a hand descended and handed me a Capri Sun. Somehow, a stranger saw my dramatic outburst from the arena and offered me a drink. After my intense recovery session of shade and juice boxes, he offered us a ride back on his boat to where we started to turn in our kayaks. Only after I had to hose myself down to get rid of the mud that covered my body. This was it. This duck knew that if I saved her, I would then need some saving of my own. I like to think that this kind man had a similar feeling that I had, the gut feeling to help. He saw the duck in me, and I saw myself in him. On the way back, I saw the duck swimming as she saw me lounging on the boat. We had both been saved, and thus a never-ending cycle of giving and receiving help had begun. Justin Timberlake said it best, "What goes around comes around," and that is the truth. It might not be immediate, but what you put into life is what you'll get out of it. Whenever you see a hurt duck of any sense, literal or figurative, be sure to help, because following is a kind man with sugary drinks and a boat to help you. To my class of 2023, thank you for pulling out my fishhook when I need it most. That good laugh on a bad day, letting someone use your badge, or explaining a concept in class to someone who doesn't understand. These are all ways we pull hooks out of each other every day. I know that many good things lie in y'all's future based on the help I've received from each one of you throughout the years. We're all struggling ducks sometimes, and most of these times we need someone else to unwrap us from our fishing line and pull the hook that's keeping us down. Thank you.